Hello, beautiful people. I'm back again with my pep talk, Be Spoken and Be Heard's pep talk. And today's pep talk is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be a roller coaster of questions and lot many things that sometimes I am not sure about. But looking at this kid's, bio, I was so fascinated at such young age, maybe 11 and 12 right now he is, and he is, almost nailing every uh, place that he is, and he is over social media, everything. And he's mostly right now on advocating climatic change initiatives regarding sustainable initiatives, and also he's a TEDx speaker. Yes, he's quite popular as a TEDx speaker. And hey, not to miss, he's a school dropout. Yes, that was where I was thinking, how can I call him? And he immediately responded, well, who am I talking about? That's Hemang Vellore from Hyderabad. Hi, Hemang. Welcome to Pep Talk.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing good as well.
Great, great. So, Hemang, yes, right. Hemang. So, Hemang, can you help me understand what is climate advocate? What do they actually do?
So, for a good brief part, so a climate advocate at this point takes the government side of it and try to defend them against activists. So,
Okay.
in this climate change world, there are two people, activists and advocates. An
Okay.
activist main role is that how we can change the government side or perspective view, and
Okay.
how we can help climate change in that way. And as an advocate, our responsibility is defend government and saying that we are doing those things and it's going under construction. It's
Right.
happening. It will done in this time, and basically have to defend against activists. And that's I myself, I'm an advocate, but I also am a semi activist as well. That happens time to time, but
Okay.
yeah, for most I'm a climate advocate.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you 11 or 12-year-old?
I'm 13 by the
Oh,
law. I am teenager.
okay. So happy teenager you are. But yes. So I just gone through your bio, and the thing that really put me into thought was school dropout. How could that
Yes.
be? And then you, from being a school dropout to becoming a TEDx speaker and leading educational hackathons, ideathons on coming up with alternatives to single plastic use. So, how did this journey started?
It actually was very interesting. So I don't want to go too into it, but I'll give you a good brief about it.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it all started about when my mom was reading a newspaper, as you do, and there was an advertisement of for a robotics competition going on, and I was interested in because in that time, I would say right around that time, I was introduced to my first mobile phone. I didn't have it; my father had it, so I was
Okay,
introduced to the mobile phone, the smartphone, right?
right.
I was interested like how is this device able to connect me to the internet, which is filled with so much information and make a call. Such a small device.
Right,
It does not even wire to anything.
right.
That fascinates me so much that
Uh-huh.
how this technology evolves. And I wanted to go into it. And my father parents took me to a good movie. It's a robot movie,
Uh-huh.
as you may know, in India. And
Okay.
I got some kind of inspiration. I don't know what it was. It was some kind
Uh-huh.
of inspiration like, oh, this is you can create humans, but they're not actually humans. They are like your slaves, if you put it
Okay.
as. So I asked my mom, like, can I go to this some kind of class or something? I just want to learn about it. And she's like, yeah, sure, why not? And my school lives when I used to go after my school, I used to go to when I used to go to school. I don't go to school
Okay.
anymore. So I used to go to these classes. They gave me good brief about it. They taught me kid robotics. Later on, I stopped for a while. Then this advertisement came on newspaper, and I'm like, huh, I didn't go for a while. Like, why not? Let's get an idea of it. Then so I went in this.
Mhm.
I'll partner with a teammate. So the competition, right? So I have to make
Okay.
something. So our team decided to make a robocall. So basically, it's programmed machine to play golf at a
Yes.
fixed state with no issues, and it went totally flawless. We totally won this competition by a wide margin, and we impressed a lot of people. And I guess that's how my motivation started to do things.
Right.
And more I went on like that, started more on robotic field, and more in programming language as well. I got interested in that as well
Right.
because with our programming language, it's robot or hardware is useless. That's why I learned in a hard way.
Right.
I used to be a hardware guy. Then I found like, wait, Windows software, hardware is nothing. So I switched my focus on that.
Uh-huh.
So after that, it went that way. And the story of how I left school was, I would say, a big depressing, but I would as much as I can.
Okay.
So my teachers are happy at first, like, my student is doing that and this. When I didn't mention any the school name or teachers or my friends in general, I said like, well, my parents helped me. None of these guys helped me.
Okay.
I just ditched school a lot of times.
Right.
So I just said that, and like that, few people got offended for some reason, and
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. Maybe
Uh-huh.
I'm too dumb for that, but they
Okay.
got offended, and they start treating me very bad. And
Okay.
get very hard fitting into a people who don't like me, and they say, "How do you start a conversation when the person don't want to talk to you? If you have good mood, why would you talk to them?"
Right.
And that was a big. The entire school was like that because I used to ditch my classes many times, don't do homework,
Oh,
sometimes skip
okay.
my exams, but I used to still score a good amount of mark.
Okay.
And that actually helped me a lot in a while.
Okay.
But later on, as I go my school days, it got so hard that at point they started bullying me,
Oh,
and I did very bad with bullying. Right now, I'm like, I manage it. It's
okay.
like every day for me at
All
this
right.
point.
All right.
So yeah,
Great.
and to see like, you know what, I'm not going to take this. I already have so many life decisions to make, and I was 9 or 10 at that time, by the way.
Oh
So
my God.
and
You're
just
being a
imagine
skip of
bullying, entire
heart.
school's bullying you at that time. Entire school's bullying you. My being like didn't work at all. My
Okay.
parents also got targeted heavily by my principal and teachers. And even like, do I really want to be in the school? And later they asked me like, should I shift the school? And I like, I don't want to go to school at all. I just told them that flying back. I just don't want to go to school. It's
Okay.
just harassment for me every time when I go to anything.
Okay.
So like, sure, why not? And they just next day I didn't go to school, and
Okay.
I was interested like, well, I'm not doing anything. I was like fourth or fifth or sixth at that time. I still can't remember what class I was in.
Okay.
And I started something called homeschooling. So homeschooling basically
Okay.
is schooling, but you have entirely control of it.
Okay.
So you can do whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. So in fact, like 22 days, I finished an entire class, which was seventh by the way.
Okay.
And with examinations, I hired two tutors. They taught me, and I learned a good bit. I guess it's helping me a little bit of mathematics because coding requires a lot of maths.
Yes.
I'm still bad at maths, not gonna lie, but
Okay.
yeah, and that's how the story of not going to school, but not even do homeschooling anymore because how hectic I have become these days. I'm doing something else all the time, so I don't get time that also studying. But sometimes in a while, I do open the textbook or talk to my few teachers. They
Uh-huh.
brief me up a little.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what's happening. That's
Okay.
how my
That's
story
what the
is.
current routine is. Well, you're talking about hectic schedule, but let's talk about your journey with the TEDx, being a TEDx speaker. How did this happen? And what was your overall experience? Was it really worth being a TEDx speaker, spreading your message?
I would say it's a platform. TED itself is a good platform to tell about, and how it's again a good thing that TED platform itself is not like they get any random person on it. No
Mm-hmm.
offense to anyone, but you have in your heart saying like you're going to something which has speakers who have experience and something to tell about.
Right.
Spreading my message from there is that you don't have to be a school, you have to go 10 years of your life on a school or be having degrees to do or something. It can be done if you have passion enough. And that was
Okay.
my main message at that time. And I guess I spread it very well.
Okay. So how many venues can you have you been addressed? Or like first, what was your first TEDx?
My first TEDx was DVRIT Nusapur,
Okay.
which to be fun fact, I actually organized an hackathon over there in
Okay.
2018.
Okay.
So yeah, that was my first ever TEDx experience, and
Experience.
that was, to be honest, I was very nervous because it's a big platform and I was very small at that time.
Yeah.
So, you know what, peer pressure, but I managed it.
So there are thousands of eyes all staring at you, anticipating what is this kid doing on the platform? Why
Yeah.
is he here? So pretty, yeah, nerve-wracking situation, I guess, for you. But now I think you have nailed it, and you're quite easy on TEDx or any other,
Yeah.
you know, platforms.
I
Wow.
got used to it, so I
Yes.
guess it's fine.
So anytime for the first time is obvious.
Oh yeah.
A moment to remember, cherish, right? So you're talking about a moment to cherish. You are also part of NASA's challenge, some sort of innovation challenge. What is it
Moon
about?
rover challenge.
Yes. What was it
Yes.
about?
So in 2017, I got an opportunity to go to NASA Moon Rover Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was aware of it when I was in 2016,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to get experience in it. So effectively, you know how the moon rover was
Yes.
built for every million mechanical stages
Mm-hmm.
when in a competition way. So there's a lot of people spend around crazy amounts on it. Some the teams we went against had a budget over $500,000 or
Uh-huh.
plus more than I have no idea.
Okay.
So it's very ridiculous. It's just to get an award from NASA,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of worth it because you do get a career out of it.
Is it?
But again, you
Okay.
need a lot of sponsors for it.
Okay.
Yep, so they got in top 20, which to be honest, it's not bad. I was a pit crew member. And I guess 2016, I was preparing for it, and I first time got ever got handed to a mechanical job, which was definitely out of my comfort zone, but
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with it because it's a new experience.
Right. Obvious. Experience matters, right? So, what did you cherish from that particular, project that you did? You take away something? Was it really worth going for such challenges? Because NASA, as we know, it's like a overrated. Oh, he's a NASA certified. Huh, this that. So, how did things change?
Well, things changed a lot after I came to NASA. Like after going to the competition, saying like in my profile hasn't I went to NASA Moondoor Challenge. It just for people who took me as like as a kid, he'll do for a few months
Yes.
or something. They try to go to school crying. Later on, when they check out my profile, like, wait, this guy went to NASA, what?
Yes.
And that was a reaction for them.
Right.
And later on, people started respecting me that, yeah, this guy is really into something. He really wants
Okay.
to do something different, not just going to school or.
Right. Your voice. Your voice. Hemang? Yeah, I've lost it. Okay, so that was a great experience, I guess, and you still cherish those moments.
Yeah.
Yes. And how about this being a climate advocate? Like, what inspired you to think about climate, single plastic, all these initiatives that you're doing? And you've been also awarded, being something like called as Earth's Rising Star, something.
The network rising star.
Yes. And you're also very active and vocal on expressing your opinions about climatic change and all this. So how did this started?
Well, I guess I'll start with the year which all started this all, 2018.
Okay.
So 2018 for people it was worse, even for
Okay.
me, but it did start out of opportunities for me.
Okay.
So 2018, I figured out, I found out this course called FAB Academy, which was done by MIT Boston.
Hmm.
And basically, it's an every year course, and this is for like graduate people, and they say not at all sort of my age, to be
Right.
precise.
Okay.
And I was not even a teenager at that time, so it definitely was impossible for me. But I heard that few Fab Labs are interested to take me in because of how much I'm into it.
Okay.
So basically, this teaches you how to make almost anything. There's a lot of things about manufacturing and
Huh?
designing, and
Okay.
many more things. It's
Right.
just filled with stuff.
Okay.
So my main thing that I was preparing till 2019, which is the year which I did my FAB Academy course.
Right.
So I was preparing till 2018. Then 2019, when the year of FAB Academy, I was sent to a FAB lab in rural Maharashtra.
Uh-huh.
After going there, again, I was city boy,
Uh-huh.
had the luxury of everything,
Okay.
endless amount of water, don't need to worry, can waste it how much I like. Didn't
Uh-huh.
know about food value. I should
Okay.
skip a lot of food times,
Uh-huh.
and many more things. And after going there, I'm like, holy crap, this is not in my comfort zone at all.
Right.
And in water, like bath water is like very limited. You
Uh-huh.
get a bucket or half a bucket and most of the time.
Okay.
If you want to wash your clothes, well, you're out of luck. You can only wash your clothes a month, only once, and you have to use so much less water. It's basically being so sustainable that I would say like an average family who
Uh-huh.
was good, jobless and everything can
Uh-huh.
run this entire place. That's why I felt over there at that time.
Right.
And the
Okay.
environment over there was like that. It was a rural village as well, so there's no
Okay.
trees, no
Mm-hmm.
water over there. And rural
Mm-hmm.
Maharashtra, there's
Mm-hmm.
not a good amount of
Right.
water for the villages, and they don't get their water tank very, very weekly. So
Okay.
after going over there, I'm like, why is this happening? Like
Uh-huh.
everywhere, cities and urban areas, they all have so much of water and food and everything, right? So
Right.
why can't this get developed? And
True.
that's the question I was asking everyone. They said like, well, this climate changes, my guy. And I'm like,
Is it?
climate changes. And I just Google it up and like, what is climate changes?
Uh-huh.
And I got pointed out to many things. Then I pointed those UN SDG goals,
Yes. Yes.
and I
I'm
got
aware.
this to UN SDG 13, climate action. And
Okay.
like that got to my brain, like climate action. That's interesting. I want to learn more about it. So after my FAB Academy, I shifted my entire focus on it, and I guess I'm kind of happy for doing that because
Is it?
I know very well like new things I do in my life is
Uh-huh.
actually helping climate.
Okay.
Um, I'll get into that in the end,
Sure.
but
Sure. Definitely.
now, so what happened that I was learning more climate change,
Uh-huh.
but it went to a point that I was, should I really go in this field or should I just continue my tech and be an average city boy has everything in his hands?
Right.
So me being a ruthless guy I am, but I wanted to put pressure on myself. So I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't care about myself. So I'm like, yeah, peer pressure on myself, I guess. So I did it. I
Right.
learned more about climate change and climate action, how you can do. So I got to this climate reality course. It's
Uh-huh.
run by X5% Al Gore.
Okay.
He actually is a very good mentor and person truly can tell you about climate action and many more things. So
Okay.
basically, he's like semi-advocate and activist
Okay.
himself, and he taught us everything about how climate action works and what's climate and how we are really disaster in the climate.
Right.
And yeah, and I guess I was still a newbie at that time, didn't know
Mm-hmm.
at all whatever. And
Right.
my friend from FAB Academy, he saw my climate action things and all of it. He pointed me to this course from Anuj University, which is
Uh-huh.
from Gujarat,
Uh-huh.
and he told me that hey, they're doing this fellowship for climate action,
Okay.
and you're interested to join it. And I'm like, well,
Good.
let's take a step further. I'm
Okay.
already into this climate world. It's
Right.
a good thing to learn more. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I applied.
Mm-hmm.
And lucky enough, I did get accepted, but I was still a
Okay.
newbie at that time. I didn't know anything.
Right.
So my fun way of learning was to talk with friends and many more things. And at that time, I wanted to do some kind of climate activity. So what I was thinking, I want to spread awareness, but as I want to learn with some person or another. So I started this thing called Climate Convos from Hangout with Hemang, which is my Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
So over there, every Sunday, 5 to 6, I do a something called Climate Convo. A speaker comes.
Uh-huh.
We talk about what they are and how are they helping climate change and what work they're doing.
Right.
And I learned different scenarios of climate
Uh-huh.
action and
Right.
different things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I learned creativity learning. You don't go to school or,
True.
no offense to anyone, 3 years of college or university, um,
Okay.
nothing like that. You just learn it with your fellow buddy or person you're talking to, and they tell you
Right.
what work they're doing and how you can change climate and things. And that's how my climate journey started, and I still going like the way. And I started my climate fellowship as well.
May all the good weathers be on you then.
I guess it should go with Hyderabad or entire place wherever rain
Right.
disaster happening.
Right.
I'm good at house shelter, so I guess it's fine.
Awesome. Awesome, Hemang. It's a wonderful knowing about your climate. What are the initiatives? It a random thought, a random observation leading to give you a thought, like to move forward with, as a career option. That's wonderful knowing about it. Well, Hemang, talk about you. You are also a young CEO founder. What is this? What do you
Alright,
do
so
with
that's
this?
it's a
You're
little
doing
bit
so
complicated for
many
people.
things. And this thing really, I just wanted to know more on this. How?
So yeah,
What?
Young CEO is an education platform which is also Hang with Hemang is part out of. So we try to take few subjects and try to tell spread awareness about it or spread education about it.
Okay.
So I started this thing in 2017,
Uh-huh.
and we had done a lot of workshops and events, offline events as well, more climate change. Yeah, it's basically I run that company with my mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Your
she's
mom.
yeah
Okay.
partner in crime.
Oh, got it. No, that's the reason why you said co-founder. Okay.
Yes, co-founder. I don't found it. I
Okay.
can't do it legally. I'm not a major.
Right. Absolutely. So you are with this educational platform. So how many people could you able to reach with this initiative?
Our main goal is to spread more education about rural areas in
Uh-huh.
Hyderabad. So it's from Hyderabad. So
Okay.
we try to do it as much as in Hyderabad as the different states in India.
Mm-hmm.
And main goal is trying to spread topics like climate action or different thing about technology and many more things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our
Okay.
main goal.
Wow. So I hope you're going green, going great with your
Yep.
initiatives. And mom in crime, yes, that's going to be a great partnership.
Oh, it is.
That will
It
never go
is.
wrong.
It never goes wrong.
Yes. So, when you're talking about your mom, I'm just wanting to ask you, talk about your family. How do they see you when you're into these technological things, then you're into MIT, then drone racing, ethical hacking? How do
Oh,
they feel when you
God.
come across like, Mom, today I have something to this, that? So, how do they deal with your energy?
Well, my family was very supportive in the studying itself, as you know how they allow me to not like in that dumb school. So they said like, yeah, go ahead, your wish. You still got plenty
Right,
of time in your life to make a career option. So go ahead,
right. So,
explore
what
whatever
was
you
the
want to
gut
do.
instinct? Because when you look at parents, Indian parents typically, they would never go for such a decision, making their son drop out of school and leave him by his own and think about his own decisions. What was their
Yeah.
instinct?
Well, I would say it'll be a different story if I had a sibling or anything like that. But thank for God, I'm the only person to my parents. So,
Okay,
yeah, that helped a lot, I guess.
okay, that could help you manipulate them a little,
Not
but
manipulate. Come on now.
with your love, with your decisions, probably.
I don't do that. Come on
Okay,
now.
okay, that's great. Okay, fine. So there's $1 million question for you because this has been part and parcel of our life. How do you manage your time?
That's a $1 million question which I can't never answer because I never know myself.
Okay,
So as I said before, it's very hectic because I don't see myself going. So as you may know, I have many things planned out, and today I'm going outside somewhere. So again, time management is very hard. And I guess in
right.
my one of my FAB Academy courses, they taught up a lot of time management. I guess that also helped me to manage my
Okay,
timings.
okay,
So I would say how my average life goes.
okay.
And because sometime in the day,
Mm-hmm.
possibly it will be late because
Okay.
I don't sleep.
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
so I'm currently doing a little bit of my FAB Academy work as well. So I've tried to finish it as much as I can, doing a bit of climate research, ongoing projects as well. So one climate project which I had was storing entirety of storage of climate information from
okay,
2000 till now. So basically change the entire shift of climate and what the causes main might happened.
okay,
That's my project which I want to do. It will be available pretty soon. I'm working on it.
okay.
So yeah, this is how my average life goes. And usually I skill a lot of food because I'd say lockdown has made everyone sit in their chairs a lot, and I'm a victim of that.
Oh, is it? So,
Yeah.
on that note, I wanted to know how active are you on Facebook or social media with your promotions, all your talks? Are you available anywhere else, or you just do it?
Pretty much on Facebook. I use a lot of Instagram. Then later on, Facebook superiors. So yeah, sure, I went to Facebook because
Okay,
that's where the main my followers were, and many of them didn't use Twitter or something like that. So
right.
I didn't want to shift my platform, and plus you can live stream on Facebook, which
Right.
is great.
Yes.
So yeah,
So you're still part of your projects and making people aware that these are the things happening, right? Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so on the I have few statements. Maybe they are made from. I just received when I said that Hemang is coming on Pep Talk. So a few people who have sent me these statements. Well, with your pinch of humor that you have, I can see that in your talk and presentations. Let me find out, where are these statements true or false? You just have to debunk these myths. They might be myths, misconceptions. So, are you ready for
Yes.
that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, great. So, preset rules pushes innovators down the narrow path. I mean, lots of rules, for innovators. Oh,
Well, innovation itself is not to limit your imagination. That's what I would put innovation as.
okay.
Just making something different out of your mind. Something,
Mhm.
let's take for example, how plastic was created. That was,
Right,
before that was only metal or nothing.
right.
Maybe glass, I have no idea of that. But when plastic came, a person, he never thought like, oh, this chemicals will make this plastic. Who knew?
Uh-huh. Yes,
That's an innovation.
true.
And no one limited in this fact. And there are certain rules which should be followed, I would say.
Uh-huh.
But the most part, you have an empty world of imagination
Right. So you don't agree that you agree that rules should be there, but
for limiting for good uses, not for
okay,
evil uses.
okay, great, great. We wouldn't notice school dropouts if someone of them weren't successful. We have some successful people over here, right?
True.
Over here. So I'm not talking about those visionaries. We already have a live example over here.
Thank
So,
you.
what do you think? Like dropouts, since they're successful, that's why they've been noticed or don't got all the attention.
That's a hard part because I would not put it. Let's take an example now. Many, let's think about it. So, drop out. What the reason you may drop out of?
Right,
Exhaustion. Maybe didn't have money to go further studies or any more like that.
right,
There's a lot of scenarios where you can drop out of.
right.
And what makes you famous from your lockdown, like your not going to school story, is that you, without going so much limited information
Hmm.
or basically telling them like, hey, without going to school, what are you doing with your life?
Right,
Saying like, no, I'm a CEO of a company, I have this job, I'm learning this much without going to school or proper education system. And that's what makes people inspiration and think about like, yeah, the guy's the motivation.
right,
Because people put in from young itself, they put injection in your brain saying that without going to school, you're nothing. Again, school is also important in life,
mhm,
but for me, how I wanted to go with my life,
right,
it was very limiting factor.
right. So here's one more. I guess this statement was made after watching lots of Hollywood movies. That's what I think. So that guys are better at ethical hacking since you're also into ethical hacking. So this was the question for you.
Well, ethical hacking is just not for bad people. There's different kinds of hacking types. One is black hacker, was totally in the evil side, for how Hollywood puts it as.
Right.
There's white hackers, which is government, sorry, and we have to
Uh-huh.
work against them. So
Okay.
I would say I'm a white hacker myself. Never used my malicious ideology for other people's information or doing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Only do it for goofing around or exploration. That's what I do it for. I
Okay.
don't do anything for malicious purposes or
Okay.
public purposes. Nothing like
Right.
that.
Right. Okay. Now here comes because you're also into social innovation and that definitely involves some sort of entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is rewarding, but it is not for everyone.
Sure.
True? Okay, you agree on that. All right. So anything in specific?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So who are your biggest influences in innovation and technology? Anyone you have apart from the climate thing?
I don't think so. I really have an influence, to be
Okay.
honest. I had my own. It was like an ideology which you had, and now just goes into one of your careers, and
Okay.
basically no one inspires you. What I would say most inspired me from working part was my mother. How she was working for me when
Okay.
she left her CEO job and basically helping me to do basically finding my own career or thoughts.
Right.
So that's actually motivated me a lot to do my
Okay. So
things.
she's your biggest influence. Okay. All right. So any tips to the people who love innovation, technology, and who haven't explored much yet? Anything for them?
Well, good place to start is Google.
Okay.
Just do a little research about it.
Right.
It's not that bad. You can read few
Uh-huh.
articles about new information, watching videos about how AI is actually done, or robotics, or
Okay.
tech, or anything in general.
Right.
And actually, that's a big issue. People think like, well, it's not in a textbook, so why should I do it?
Right.
That's from the school part or any other education parts.
Right.
Again, this kind of things are external. They don't come in your textbooks or
Right.
maybe books, but not in textbooks in school that current, as I know for.
Okay. Wow. So that was good knowing so many things from you, and you are talking about those myths, misconceptions, and agreeing to the last part. Yes, entrepreneurship is rewarding, yet it is not for
Not for
all.
everyone.
Yes. Wow. So that's the statements part. I wish to go move forward with the rapid question round. Let's see how you
Oh
do
God.
this. Yeah. So one wacky creation you can teach someone in 1 minute.
A store creation. So this is actually a fun part. So
Huh?
when I used to go to this dinner meetings with my parents every Sunday,
Uh-huh.
I didn't have my phone at that time, so I can't play games or anything like that. My parents, they were busy. So I used to take these stuff from the hotel and to take a toothpicks. So I used to make a small toys out of it. Some of these are just like normal toys or live action figures.
Okay.
So if anyone asks me like I want a small toy or something reusable from straws,
Okay.
I make a small, take some toothpicks and straws, make some kind of gun or small toy like a robot.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it's done in, I did it most time in 50 seconds. That's what time did that.
That's a quite quick DIY for you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have a chance to hire someone, what are the things that you would definitely look for?
I definitely look for emailing and applying applications because my mother takes care of that, and if anything, I help her out. And seeing how I'm a little bit stuck to my laptop more,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that whatever my mom does,
Uh-huh.
ease off that, or to just take over whatever she does. Because I don't want to put stress on her. That's what I want to do.
Okay. But what do you think that any person who should be part of your team, he must be having some choice, like he must be having this skill, that talent, anything in particular?
One primary skill is that you should be able to respond midnight when you should not basically sleep. Because me and my mom don't at all sleep, I'll be honest.
Okay.
We are coffee drinkers. We drink a lot of coffee but don't sleep.
Okay. Well, so one aspect you have self-discovered in the recent past, recent days, anything you have discovered?
But climate, that's it. Nothing else.
Nothing? Okay. You're too much into climate.
Well, yeah, I can't blame myself, can I? It's an interesting
Right.
subject.
When that comes, then I don't know if I can ask you this. What do you love to listen or to watch? Movies or music?
Well, both.
Oh, do you watch
Movies,
movies?
movies with my parents, definitely, because that's a
Okay.
family time. Music
Okay.
every single day, even when I'm coding or going for a walk, I listen to them. It's it
Okay.
as a part of my life at this point.
Music. So what's the new latest track that's in your list right now?
Actually, I have no idea. Let me check my Spotify account for a second. I did add a new one.
Okay.
Um, what is this? Lost in Sound by Unknown.
Uh-huh. Okay. Can you sing?
That's my new track.
Can you sing?
Definitely, it's a very advanced English which I can't tell because even Spotify can't tell it because it's just a mumble. It's the
Okay.
soundtrack is good. That's it.
Okay. All right. So if you fine, you watch a movie with your parents, but what if a movie is made on your life? What title would it be?
Well, first of all, I want allow someone to do that because
Okay.
that's very awkward. And number two, title, huh?
Yeah.
The guy who doesn't care of himself.
Okay.
Because I don't really care about myself a
Is
lot.
it? But we do care about you and we love you for what you are.
Thank you.
All right. So, what if you're stranded in any island? How do you see the situation?
Well, first, a sustainable water source or finding a place to get out of there.
Right.
Yeah, that's two things that I look for.
Okay. Great. So, I really enjoy talking to you, knowing you more in length and breadth. But I don't know how did you enjoy Pep Talk?
Oh, I
Did
loved
you?
it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you on that. Well, any sign off message to our viewers who are watching us right now?
Um, I would say first chase your dreams. Don't put anything in limitation factor.
Right.
Ask a lot of advices. Few people
Okay.
might put you down. Some people might encourage you. Life is a big roller coaster by itself,
Right.
and never get demotivated or depressed.
Awesome. On this note, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors and hope to be in touch. Thank you, Hemang, for
Sure.
joining the talk.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you. So, yes, viewers and friends, that was Hemang Vellore from Hyderabad, a young CEO. Yes, and he's a founder and he works on climate change initiatives. He's part of wonderful topics and talks, and he's also hosting, moderating few wonderful and very interesting talks. Actually, if you go through his handle, you can go and length of things that he's been doing well. Let's come to a wonderful conclusion that nobody can put us down, nobody can pull us down, and nothing can change you. It's all you who have to change, and it's you who has to determine to go ahead. Well, on this, I wish you all a very happy weekend, and I'll be back with yet another interesting pep talk session with an yet another young achiever who is making our nation proud. Bye bye, everyone. Stay blessed and be happy. And don't forget to leave a comment, like, and share. We are also on YouTube. Yes, do check out on. Okay. Thank you, everyone.